Welcome everybody that's joining. Hope you're having a good Saturday morning. Ready to do some yoga? At least learn about some yoga. I'll go ahead and get started. I am Stephanie Summers Gresh. I'm the Executive Director for the Scleroderma Foundation of Greater Chicago. Just tell you a little bit about our organization before we get started. We are a 501c3 nonprofit located in Chicago. We've been around for 40 years, celebrating our 40th anniversary this year. And if you're new to our organization, we offer a lot of support groups and education programs for folks who are living with scleroderma and your families. So I would encourage you to check out our website at stopscleroderma.org and learn about the different programs and support groups that we offer. You can also sign up for our newsletter and get regular updates on what we have going on there. And I'm really excited about this morning's program. I met Kathy and her team several years ago at a scleroderma conference, and I was just blown away by how amazing the work is that they do and how they're able to adapt yoga to people living with scleroderma. It's just amazing. So I'm always happy to have them as part of our program. So thank you ladies for taking time out of your Saturday morning to be with us today. And I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourselves when it's your turn. But just to give you an idea of the format here, we're going to have a few different presentations. Intermittently, we will have Q&A sessions in between where you can either use the Q&A function on your Zoom to type in a question, and we will get to those during those sessions. If typing is an issue, you can also raise your hand, press the raise hand function, and we can call on you during those Q&A sessions as well. The chat feature, feel free to use that. That's just for chatting, sending out messages. But if you have a question for the presenters, let's use that Q&A function. And without further ado, welcome to our Yoga for Scleroderma team. Alexis, I think you're going to kick things off for us.
I am. Good morning. My name is Alexis Harrison. I am a Yoga for Scleroderma practitioner, but also I have scleroderma. I was diagnosed in January of 2015, shortly after having my first child. I also have Sjogren's and Hashimoto's. So yoga has really provided me the ability to take better care of myself in the body that I'm in currently. So Yoga for Scleroderma has several free resources on our webpage at www.yogaforscleroderma.com. And that includes all videos that we've ever made, as well as our podcasts, which are guided meditations, mindfulness, and relaxation. And Kathy Randolph is actually the creator of Yoga for Scleroderma, helping us to find ways to live better in our scleroderma body. So Kathy, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Alexis. My name is Kathy Randolph. I started teaching Yoga for Scleroderma in 2002 when I was invited to present at the national conference in Vegas. And it was very popular. They told me to expect 35 people in my presentation, and I had 112. At which point they asked us to make a video. We did, and we've been teaching ever since.
Thank you, Kathy. Pat, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you. My name is Pat McMillan. I was I also have scleroderma. I was diagnosed in 2013 when I was finishing up a round of treatment for a second round of breast cancer. I've actually started taking the class, became aware of the class through my instructor for my cancer rehab. And I took the training that Kathy offers for scleroderma and arthritis, and it helped me immensely with my range of motion, which I'm still working on. But I also travel, and it has given me the ability to continue my travels. pretty much everywhere around the world. I'm a landscape and wildlife photographer, and I'm now the photographer for Yoga for Scleroderma. Back to you, Alexis.
Yes, so all the photography you see attached to our mindfulness and guided meditation podcast are like probably 99.9% of Pat's photography. So every once in a while, you might see one thrown in from Lori's photographs or someone else's photographs, but most of the time they're all Pat's photography, and it's just beautiful. So I will mention that our entire class is GERD friendly, including we will be presenting reclining or bed or floor options, and then also chair and standing options shown together. So Kathy will be demonstrating the standing and chair options, and I will be demonstrating the floor and reclining options. So we will go through how to go to a yoga class, as well as relaxation, Q&A, and check in on anything that you guys might in particular want to learn about. So Kathy, if you would like to get us started.
Okay, we're going to start out with Pat and some breath work to get going.
Thanks, Kathy. So what I'd like to introduce you to is the full diaphragmatic breath. And sometimes, especially if you have lung functions, it's kind of a little different. When people say breathe in, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. So what we'd like you to do is exhale completely, relax, and then just let the inhale take care of itself. So let's go ahead and do this. Exhale, completely relax, and let the inhale take care of itself. By continuing to do this will increase circulation, which helps with Raynaud's. And I know in Chicago it gets pretty cold. So that's all there is to it. So Kathy?
All right, now we're going to present a core and quadricep strengthener. And these get you out of a chair, get you out of a car, and get you up and down the stairs. Also, these are the muscles that are for balance. So you'll also be improving your balance. So I'm going to demonstrate it in chair. Alexis is demonstrating on the floor. So Stephanie, if you could spotlight both of us, people will be able to see both of us at the same time. So if you are reclining, and Alexis is using an inclined plane because you don't want to lay flat if you have GERD. And so you use pillows or blankets. If your bed is already elevated at the head of the bed, then your bed would be perfect. So Alexis will be lying down. I'm doing it in a chair. And so I am supporting myself with the back of the chair. Alexis is supported by her inclined plane. Then press your low back flat. So this is just a slight pelvic tilt under. Then bring your right knee up, put your right hand or wrist just above your knee. Your knee pushes towards you, your hand pushes away from you, and breathe. Release, but keep your low back flat. Repeat. Right hand, right knee, and push. And release. Last one on this side, right knee, right hand, and push. And release. Keeping your low back flat, we're moving to the left. So left hand, left knee, and push. And release. Repeat, push, remember to breathe. Release. Last one on this side, and push. And release. Now keep your low back flat. Now we're going to work on the side obliques. So right knee, left hand, and push. And release. Repeat. And release. Last one of these, right hand, right leg, left hand. And release. Now we're going to switch. So right hand, left knee, and push. And release. And push. And release. Last one of these, right hand, left knee. And release. Now the last one is both knees at the same time. So knees up and push. And release. So most of us could use some core strengthening. You don't need to know a whole bunch of different core strengtheners. You only need to do one. This one can be easily done in your bed before you get up in the morning or anytime you're relaxing during the day. And you will notice a difference within a month or two. Now we're moving into how to go to a yoga class, whether you're taking a video class or going to a studio. We're going to show you some adaptations and props and options for those poses so that you can enjoy yourself. And so I'm going to show you what we're going to do is Alexis and I are both going to be demonstrating, and we're going to be using a variety of props that you can take with you. So I'm going to introduce a couple of them. One is a strap, and you'll see yoga straps in lots of yoga poses. I always told people you could use a dog leash, you could use a towel, you can do a lot of different things. But these straps have loops. So if you don't grip, you can still do all the things your teacher is showing you how to do, like a forward bend. And Alexis is doing the reclining version of a forward bend, because a forward bend is your chest comes towards your knee or your knee comes towards your chest. I'm doing chest towards knee. Alexis is doing that same forward bend, legs coming towards her chest. This is made out of 100% cotton, so it is not abrasive. And the props that we're showing you, we don't have anything to do with them, but there are links to them on our webpage. This costs about $8. These cost $16. These are push-up bars. With a push-up bar, I can, without a grip and without closing my hands, all I'm doing is putting my hand over the padded push-up bar, and I can then get down and up off the floor. No knees, no wrists. It can also be used if you're using wall. I'm sorry, I don't have a wall on either side, but wall. So these can make it possible. And I know I was teaching a presentation for the Phoenix group, and a gentleman who was attending was, paying attention and interested. And then I got these out. And the next thing I know, he's doing push-ups in the back of the room. We just gave him a set. And he was driving to his gym for the first time in a very long time. And I bet he never does yoga with them. But he's back at the gym. And that's what counts. I'm also going to show you when you are perhaps in a yoga class and they're using things to prop up your knees and they have yoga blocks. What you want to look for, these are made out of recycled inner tubes and they're really soft. You don't want anything hard. And so if you find one that's soft, you can just take it with you. All of this will fit in a little tote over your shoulder. And then the last thing I want to show you is hiking poles. If you are challenged in your balance, so who isn't? And a lot of times, if you're at a yoga studio, they may have chairs or you may use the wall, but then you're lopsided. And a lot of my students are hikers, and we all have these hiking poles. And so we've started using these because the idea is we're trying to train ourselves in our balance. And if we fall out on the trail, we're not going to have a wall or a chair. We're going to have our hiking poles. So we are now doing all of our balance poses using hiking poles. So that gives you an idea of things you can do. And of course, my favorite one is a lot of yoga studios have chairs, and most of us have chairs. And if you have 2 chairs, you can do everything everyone is doing on the floor. It's exactly the same. There's no difference. You just took out the getting down and getting up. And if that's what's keeping you from enjoying your yoga practice, just use 2 chairs instead of the floor. So there's lots and lots of options. Now, Alexis and I are going to go through a full range of motion for the spine.
So Kathy, before we start that, do you want to show us some down dog options for?
Yeah, we can do that.
Sure.
Okay.
So for down dog, think of it as making a box. Okay. Down dog is a 90-degree angle, generally done like this. But it doesn't have to be. So you could use your push-up bars with the ground. And Alexis is demonstrating ground now, but that same 90-degree angle could be done seated. Now Alexis is demonstrating dolphin. Okay, and I don't think we can really see her arms. I'm going to do dolphin.
I can scooch back. I can scoot back.
Good, good.
Okay.
There you go.
So now Alexis is doing down dog. This is called dolphin pose because your whole forearms are on the ground. So no wrists.
It
And
takes
even
all the
more
pressure
stretch.
out.
Yeah.
So you're
But
doing
notice,
the same stretch down the back of your legs. You're just not having to put any pressure on your wrists.
and it's still that same 90-degree angle. Now we can do that 90-degree angle also seated. So Alexis is going to do it on the floor. I'm going to do it in a chair. And there it is. Same stretch in the hamstrings and legs, same extension in the back, no weight at all. You can also do it with a chair or a wall. So with a chair, I'm here. With a wall and push-up bars. Okay, so imagine that's a wall. There. So just keep in mind what you're trying to do. You're stretching your back, you're stretching your legs, and it's a 90-degree angle. But it can be any 90-degree angle.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Pat. Now, when you go to a yoga class, you are going to find that almost all of them are going to include a forward bend, a back bend, a side bend, and a twist, and an inversion, full range of motion for the spine. So Alexis and I are going to demonstrate some of the most popular ones that you're going to see a lot, so that you see different options about how you can participate in the class while doing something, more suitable for you that particular day. So we're going to begin with knee to chest pose, which is a forward bend. So Alexis is doing it reclining on her inclined plane. And you're going to start with your right side. The reason whenever we're compressing the abdominal area, we start on the right is because your ascending colon comes up and across, then the descending colon. So in order to improve, or at least not affect digestion poorly, you always want to compress the right side first, then the left. So with knee to chest, Alexis is bringing her knee up to her chest. I'm bringing my knee up to my chest. This is a great stretch for the hamstring. My back is straight, and you can also support yourself on the back of the chair the way Alexis is supporting herself. And if you're looking for more of a stretch in the chair, you can do it with the other leg straight. So right leg first, then left. Could also be with leg straight. Now, one of the most important muscles to stretch, and this is universal, is the hamstring. It runs from it attaches on your shin bone right below your knee, and then it comes up and attaches to the hip. So we have to stretch it. Your leg needs to be straight. So now we're going to do a forward bend with the leg straight. So the right leg, Alexis will be reclining and her right leg will be coming straight up. So there it is, reclining. So she's bringing her leg towards her chest. I'm bringing my chest toward my leg. Same stretch. Both of us could use a strap if that would be helpful. And release. And again, right leg first, then left. And moving in to the left. And release. Now we're going to do our back bend. So we're going to present cat-cow. Cat-cow is a great core strengthener because the whole time you're doing it, for example, seated, I'm arching like a Halloween cat and then like a sway back cow. But the whole time your core is controlled. Now this can be done seated on the floor, and Alexis is going to demonstrate that. I'm demonstrating it seated in a chair. So you arch as you exhale, inhale and pull through. You can also use arms out to the side. Now, Alexis is going to demonstrate it kneeling with the push-up bars. This is pretty much the classic you'll see. And I'm going to demonstrate it standing. So these are all the same pose. Now we want to do a side bend. So Alexis is going to demonstrate floor. I'm going to demonstrate it seated in a chair and then standing. Now, again, we're going to be compressing the digestive system, so you want to start toward the right. Now, I'm going to possibly take a hold of the chair for stability. Alexis is using the floor, arm up and over. Now, if your shoulder won't do this, you bring your arm straight across. See, we're trying to get this to stretch. So if your arm is straight across, and just keep in mind, what are you trying to stretch? It's the rib cage. And now other side. So it can either be here, there, up, and come up. Now standing, I have both my feet straight ahead for stability. Right side first, could be here. Left. So that was a triangle pose. You'll see that one a lot, but keep in mind all the other variations we showed you are a lateral, a side bend. And so when you're participating in a class, you want to be doing the same stretch. It just doesn't have to look the same. When people walk into my classes, it looks like chaos because nobody is doing the same things. Now we want to do a twist, a rotation of the spine. Again, we'll be going to the right side first. So Alexis is going to be demonstrating both seated and reclining. I'm going to demonstrate seated in a chair and standing. So I'm going to bring my left hand across, right arm around behind. You can put it on the floor. You can take a hold of the chair. Then I'm going to inhale and exhale, turning to the right. And come back to center. Other side. So I'm going to take a hold, inhale, exhale and turn. And inhale, back out. Now Alexis is going to recline, and I am going to come up to standing. So Alexis is going to start out to the right side first. And I am going to twist to my right. Your hands can be up. This one right here, as you come across, back to center, and over to the other side. Back to center. Now Alexis is using, as you can see, a couple of blocks so that she doesn't overstretch her back. And you can use throw pillows, exercise balls, towels. Yeah. Now Alexis is going to demonstrate taking it a little bit further. So she's going to cross her right leg over her left. I'm going to cross my right leg over my left and rotate right. Come back to center. Change the crossing your legs. And rotate left. And come back. So now we have demonstrated forward bending, back bending, side bending, and twisting. Another thing you will find in almost every yoga class is going to be an inversion. So turning yourself upside down. If you have GERD, headstand is not recommended. So yes, but keep in mind that what we're trying to do, what the function of the inversion is in yoga, is to get your heart higher than your head. And if that doesn't work, large muscles higher than your heart, because what we want to do is circulate the lymph. So Alexis can recline and put her legs up on the bed, on a chair, on anything she's got. You can also just lay down and put your legs up a wall. You can lay on your bed and put your legs up over the headboard. Large muscles higher than your heart gives you the benefit of the inversion that people are getting from other practices. Now, in a chair, I can come down to level, or I can get my large muscles higher than my heart. If you're on your bed, you could put pillows under your knees. So I hope we've given you some ideas about how you can participate in a yoga class and essentially be doing the same practice, just in a way that suits your body and gets you the benefit you want without making your GERD worse or blowing up your wrists. Now we're going to be taking questions, and especially about, are there any yoga poses you find problematic in a yoga class that you'd like to see us give you some options for?
And again, feel free to either type in your question with the Q&A function or simply click the raise hand feature, and I can unmute any of you if you'd like to just ask a question aloud. And if there's no questions, we can just move on to the next segment.
Great.
Okay. And I will also mention that on our YouTube channel, we have playlists. So we have an entire playlist just for hands. We have an entire playlist of standing poses so that you can just look at something you're interested in learning about or finding a function of right then. And now I'd like to present a little bit about hands. So stretching your hands. And we also have an entire section on the webpage about having someone help you. So if you can, you're going to put your hands with your fingers touching. And then press together. You can open up your palms or your fingers. And this is designed to maintain what mobility you still have and improve mobility. Now, if that isn't going to work, you can put your hand, some people say like on a flat surface. I prefer to use my leg because it's soft. So then I can put my hand on my fingers and stretch by lifting my palm up. I can press my palm down and lift my fingers up. And then other side, of course. So here, I'm pressing my fingers down, lifting my palm up. Or press my palm down, lift my fingers up. And this will just help maintain mobility and stretch. We used to say that this could help you maintain what mobility you have. And now we've had several people have significant improvements and actually regain some lost range of motion.
I do want to add one thing. When you're doing these stretches for your hands, once you start the stretch, if you see your fingertips start to turn a little bit white, we're going to take 3 breaths and then release it. Because we're not trying to do any damage, we're just trying to do a gentle stretch. So as you do it, 3 breaths. And release.
Thank you, Alexis.
Okay. So
As
Kathy,
a yoga,
sorry to interrupt, Kathy. We actually did have a question, if I can ask.
Yes.
It was, I wake up stiff and aching. Should I start with stretching right away or better later after coffee?
So the average person would say after coffee, but the scleroderma person says do it in your bed before you even get out of bed. This was one of the worst times of day for me when everything was first starting, like so deep inside your tissues and felt like it was in your bones. But the only thing that seemed helpful was for me to start stretching in my bed. So then I could roll out of the side of my bed and get moving for the day. So all the stuff that I did on the floor, I do that in my bed in the morning before I get moving. So that's a great question. You might find that it might make you feel like more, I don't know, I guess in a better mood once you get up and start moving. But I do these things all throughout the day. I mean, definitely right when I wake up so that I can even get out of the bed, but then also kind of little things through, like maybe side stretches throughout the day just to keep myself, what would you say? Like not limber, but moving.
mobile.
A little bit more flexible.
Yes,
Yeah.
more flexible. There you go. That was a
No,
great
I also
question.
I also do the same thing in the morning before I get out of bed too. Just because I've been having some lower back, lower leg issues, the stretches help a lot. We have one more question, and it was, my fingers are significantly curled. Is there a variation for the finger stretches?
Alexis is
So,
demonstrating.
these are like actually socks that I got at a conference, but you can just roll them up in a ball, or if you have a soft, oh, that was very nice of her. Or if you have one of the fuzzy tennis balls, you can put that in between, like in this palm area, and use that just to gently push against. So if your fingers don't open up like that, that's okay. One of the most important parts that we're trying to get to is in here. So if you can get this a little, you know, and you can find fuzzy tennis balls in any size. So whatever size is going to work for you, or whatever pair of socks works for you, just stick that in there. And then like I can raise my elbows and still get a little bit of that stretch through those sections. I don't know if you can see that, of my palms, even without making my fingers straight. And this is one that our dear Lori used to do all the time, because she would still do these just with a tennis ball in her hands.
Thanks, Alexis.
Yeah.
Are there any
I'd
other
like
questions?
to mention
Okay, go ahead.
that Alexis and Lori recorded their morning routine, the one she was just talking about. It's called Before Our Feet Hit the Floor, and it's our #1 video. And it's like 13 minutes long, and it's the morning routine.
All right, if we have no more questions, I think I will go ahead and teach everybody Brahmari, which is also known as the bee breath, which helps with digestion. This is my go-to breath. Like, I do have digestive issues, and I know some of us are like overly constipated, or we go the other end. And yeah, sometimes all we want is to find a very happy medium. So I would like to introduce it to you. So actually what we would like you to do is, I'm going to start with exhaling completely, relaxing. Now to inhale. Now this time when you exhale, hum. It could just be a standard hum, like, or it could be your favorite song. It's whatever you would like, and you can hum anywhere, which is the beauty of it. And what the humming is doing is increasing your salivation. So like if you have Sjogren's, it'll help it with the moisture in your mouth. It also induces digestive enzymes, so it actually will help down in your digestive system as itself. So I do it when I'm sitting in traffic at a stoplight, because sometimes I get stuck in traffic, even though I live in Reno, and gets frustrating, and it also helps in relaxing. The other thing is while you're washing dishes, and just having your favorite song. And so it's a very easy thing you can do anywhere. So let's try it one more time. Exhale, humming. Relax, inhale, and exhale, hum again. So what I'd also like to do is, now the other thing to go along with this, I use what's called constructive rest. So if Stephanie want to spotlight Kathy and Alexis, I'm going to show you my favorite all-time pose if I do nothing else in the morning for both of them, please. This is what I do first thing in the morning, first thing when I get to bed. So what I'd like you to do is find a comfortable position. Now, Alexis is going to be lying, the reclining, and then Kathy is chair. So for Alexis laying flat, because of GERD, we have an incline. She's using some pillows. And your feet are about a hip distance apart, away from your body, and then a comfortable distance away from your body. And then you will let your knees touch. For Kathy on the chair, she's going to use it as the floor. So she's doing the exact same thing. And for your hands, you can put them on several locations. You can put them one on your chest, one on your abdomen, or you can put them both on your abdomen, one above each other, one on top of each other. Or another position I do is taking the sides of your hands, and in the fold by your hip bones, put your palm of your hand on your hip bones, and then just put the side of your little finger in that little crease. So Kathy, I'd like to do one more seated. So if you could turn around where your feet are on the floor. Also, it would be on a chair with a back. Yes, thank you. So your feet are, and then have your legs are still hip width distance apart. Now touch your knees together. This is one I do when I'm on an airplane, and sometimes I've been finding myself doing it or sitting in the car. And what this is helping, and do it same hand places. So find the comfortable position now. Kathy, if you want to go back to reclining. And I would like you to just add Brahmari to this. So you can do a full diaphragmatic breath. You could do Brahmari, whichever is most comfortable for you at this point. So exhale, relax, inhale. You can exhale humming or not. And what this is helping to do is relax your vagus nerve. I've also been trying this position for migraines, which have been coming a lot more frequently these days. And it's actually helping. And I get them at weird places, hence the seated position. All right, so I think we have one more. So what I'd like to do is, I do see we have a question, but I like to do it at the end. What I'd like to do now is our deep relaxation. So what I'd like you all to do now is to find a very comfortable position that you could either be seated, laying down, either position as we just demonstrated. I'd like you to choose which is most comfortable for your body right now. So your hips, belly, and low back can all relax. Now I'd like you to place one hand on your chest and the other on your abdomen. I want you to breathe by exhaling completely. Relax. And let your inhale happen naturally. No effort, no strain. Your lungs refill because you emptied them when you exhale. This is the full, natural breath that brings oxygen in to circulate through your body when you inhale. Exhale, relax, feel yourself inhale. This is the full natural breath that releases what you don't need anymore when you exhale. This breath does more than deliver oxygen. The rhythmic movement of your diaphragm massages your inner organs and helps release tight muscles and fascia throughout your belly. This rhythmic breath and internal massage reduces the overstimulation of the vagus nerve and helps you reset your natural rest and digest cycle. Now continue this breath. Exhale, relax, inhale. As you relax your breath, will relax too, becoming smooth and even. I want you to feel how, how much more aware of the smooth and rise fall through your hands on your chest and belly. Feel the rise and fall, feeling that gentle inter massage. To continue to exhale, relax, inhale. To this breath, now let's add Brahmari, the humming breath, and humming to your exhale. Hum while you exhale, relax, inhale. This breath increases salivation and digestive enzymes. You may feel the vibration from your humming through your hands resting on your chest and abdomen. Now return to your normal breath. Now draw your attention back through the five senses, first hearing, then taste, smell, sight, and finally touch. Maybe move a little, perhaps a stretch. Remember, you can relax, release, rest, and digest anytime with a breath. Thank you. All right, ladies, we have one more question. Could you please show exercises to improve posture? Thank you very much. It's a great presentation.
So here's my favorite. This is called Circle of Joy. So you can interlace your fingers or clasp your hands, press forward, up. Your elbows don't have to be straight. Around behind, interlace your fingers or clasp your hands. Try and straighten your arms. Doesn't matter if they straighten. This is what I'm stretching. And then exhale forward. Let your arms and head hang. And come up. Here it is standing. Okay, that's my favorite. Here's the one I hate and works really, really well. When your posture is going here, what's happening is the latissimus dorsi, the two muscles that run across the base of your shoulder blades, are stretching out. So these tighter muscles are pulling forward like this. So if we strengthen these two muscles, but we have to isolate them, because if we strengthen all of them, you just stay in the same position, only stronger. So what we want to do is strengthen these. So I am going to stand with my feet just a few inches from the wall. I'm going to bring my arms up as high as I can. If you can get your elbows to shoulder level, your hands can be anywhere. Come up. Now I'm going to go straight back. It isolates those two muscles and strengthens them to help bring you back into balance. I would suggest you start with between 3 and 5 and only do one set. See how you feel tomorrow before you decide to ramp it up.
Thank you, Kathy. Are there any more questions anybody has? No? Do either of you have something else you'd like to add? One of your favorite poses? So one thing I would, Kathy, when we were doing actually Alexis, I like your version of the cat cow that you do on the edge of the bed. Would you mind demonstrating that?
Yeah. Let me see if I can move this up a little.
This is another variation for your range of motion of the spine.
I mean, it's mostly the same. It's just on the edge of the bed.
I was talking about the ones where you're doing, oh, I think it was more like the arm going, anyway, yeah, that one. We were doing the,
So I'm bringing my arms out and my chin up. I know you can't see my chin, but
yeah.
And then I'm tucking my chin down to my chest and bringing my arms back together. So you don't have to have a super wide range of motion in your arms, but it's still helping you stretch across your chest and across your shoulder blades. So it's chest opening. And then when you're dropping your chin to your chest, it's stretching across your shoulder blades.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna thank you from somebody as well. Stoney, do you have any other?
Anything else that you all wanted to add?
I'd like to remind everyone we have a live Zoom on the third Wednesday of every month. We have one at, it's 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, so 5:30 p.m. Central, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. That's in English. And then we do one that's at 6:30 p.m. India time, which right now is 5 a.m. Pacific, and it's in Hindi language. And you're welcome to join us. And then these become the podcasts that then go up on our podcast channel and go up on our YouTube channel. And everything is free.
That's fantastic, Kathy. Yeah, you have so many great resources. I would really encourage everybody to check it out. Check out their website, check out the other videos. They have so many great resources. As I mentioned earlier, I'm really interested in this morning routine video, so I'm going to check that out. That sounds really great. And I also put in the chat a link to, we have a, a group that meets monthly, the third Tuesday, similar to yours. It's called Get Moving with Scleroderma, and we talk about things like this: yoga, movement, exercise, ways to keep moving to help improve symptoms and just feel better and improve health. So if you go to our website, stopscleroderma.org/get moving, there's more information about that, and you can sign up and we'll send you the Zoom invites for that. So thank you, ladies, so much again for being here. Thank you to everyone for attending and all the great questions. And we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, ladies.
Oh,
Take
somebody
care.
asked what our website is.
Oh,
So
yeah,
Kathy,
go ahead.
do you want to go ahead and type in our, oh, can't.
No.
I will put the, I will type it in. Hold on, I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pat.
I do want to say one other quick thing.
Yeah.
If you guys go and are doing the hands video, just be conscientious of if you're having digital ulcers. Obviously, we don't want to put any extra pressure on those guys. So anything that hurts should not be done. So we're doing everything being mindful of how it feels in our body. So just if it feels like a stretch, that's okay. If it feels like an ouch, that's not.
It's good advice. Thank you, Pat. Yes, yogaforscleroderma.com is where you can go for all more videos and information on these yoga presentations. So, all right. If there's nothing else, we'll conclude today's webinar. And thank you again, ladies. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Take care.